Alright, today I have another 0K tutorial for you guys. To Bloxer 502. Alright, so let's go and get into it. And today I'm going to be showing you how to do a Rocko line. Rocko, unit from the Clickybot factory right here. It's the skirmisher bot. Alright, so let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and fast forward through my base construction. Alright. Okay, cut down to third speed. Alright, now let's go and cut it back to normal. Okay, now here is the principle behind the Rocko line. Firstly, if you get enough of them, that they will be able to hit anything, even raid bots. Not necessarily effectively. If you brought 10 raid bots on them, then they'd probably die pretty easily. But sadly, the AI is not smart enough to do that. Or, actually in this case, luckily. Alright. Now, the other concept with the Rocko line is you do not want them to die at all. Basically, the idea behind this is you let them stockpile. As you'll notice through the battle, what I'll do is I'll let these Rockos sit here for a while, using a few glaives that I produce to guard and stuff like that. And I'll just let the Rockos stockpile, and then when I get enough of them, about 10 is a good number, you can go ahead and start moving in. Yes, and alright, let's watch through this to see how that plays out. Okay, and let's get him at a fairly slow point in the game. He's just trying to scout me, raid me actually. This right here actually was probably the most demanding, stressful, or I guess, I don't know, scary part of the battle. Because it has a fairly big assault force, and all I got is, well, as you can see, it isn't a situation of this is all I got. As you can see, 5 Rockos does quite well. That and the effects are really cool. I love watching these rockets. Now, it may look like it several times, but my commander does not die. He gets close, but he never dies. Alright, and by this point I'm feeling pretty confident because they haven't been able to destroy any of my Rockos, so then they've been able to stockpile. While AI here, first of all, hasn't been able to raid me, as you'll see, set up adequate defense, and secondly, they've been losing stuff to me left and right. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this in fast time. As you can see, with a few glaives, Rocko line works quite nicely. The glaives are only there to prevent the opponent from closing range. If they weren't there, then it would be effective. Probably not against raid bots, though. Alright, and by this point, you can definitely see that letting Rocko stockpile like this, which means that you do not need to produce hardly any other units rather than the Rocko, other than the Rocko, because what it's going to do is probably, unless you're very careful, they're going to die. Well, I don't suppose that's the biggest thing. The biggest thing, and that's probably actually not the case. So, the biggest thing here is that Rockos must be in mass number in order to work properly. Which means that you don't want them to die, which means that you always, and I mean always, need to give them a fight command. Whenever possible, use this command. I've talked about it, I think, multiple times now in my videos, but that's for a reason. You must use it. It's a lot better than the move command, because they won't just go charging straight into the enemy. If they find one, then, as you can see, they'll back up and shoot. Alright, now, while this is still going, I want to talk about a few counters for the Rocko. One is going to be the Outlaw. And as you'll see, that's mostly what it's producing here. Another is the Warrior. Most Riot bots, well, actually, I'm afraid I'm going to have to take that back. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. Actually, Skirmisher bots naturally do effective against Riot bots. To counter the Rocko, what you're going to want to do is basically mass raid bots. Or, a few crawling bombs should work well, because they kind of tend to clump up a bit when they're skirmishing. So, yeah, see this right here? Crawling bomb. Choose a crawling bomb and that right there. Yep, raid bots and crawling bombs. Now, the reason I brought up the Riot bot is because in a previous video I was talking about the slasher push, and I forgot to mention that that is the counter for a slasher push, is the Riot bot. Because the slashers, they're just not powerful enough to kill the Riot bot before it gets up on it. Pretty much all Riots I've seen work well. The Outlaw works particularly well, though, because it slows down the rate of fire, and the slashers gain most of their damage from the rate of fire. If they have a slow fire rate, then that means they're going to do considerably lesser damage than other units would if they got their fire rate slowed. Alright. So there's some information on the slasher. Alright, I believe... yeah, I morphed some of my Rockos, they went over here, and I morphed them into Recluses to go ahead and get the job done. Alright, well, I believe that is pretty much it for this video. I think you guys have definitely seen the effectiveness of the Rocko line, so... alright, I believe I'm going to end this video right here. Thanks for watching, and be looking out for some more videos.